Taylor, and I'm excited to be here. And Dirk and I were talking about it before the session started, and I don't know who's in charge of the music, but whoever is, we want to bring you back to America and hire you for our functions because you guys rock. I mean, yeah, you guys are awesome. Really, I mean, things like that, don't take them for granted because you bring new people around this environment and they can't help but just get excited. I mean, there's so many people who go behind the scenes to make a weekend like this happen that you really need to appreciate them. So whoever does the music, whoever picks the music, I mean, it's awesome. But a little bit of my background, I am 29 years old and I have been in the business for about 7 years now. And actually, the first 3.5 years of building the business, I was single. And my personal upline was Dirk, now my husband. There's a tip. But, and then the next 3.5 years, I built it married. It's a great business to find your spouse in because when there's two people that are running for a common goal, it just makes the relationship that much easier, but that's not my talk today. So what I'm going to talk about with you guys is basically the mindset of volume. I'm not going to get into a whole lot of techniques. Dirk touched on that earlier, but I am just going to give you some of the mindset. Basically, I'm going to talk to you today like you're my team. And I hope that's okay. And just the mindset of volume, because really that's where the business starts. If you don't have any PV going through your personal circle, going through the people on your team circles, you're not making any money. So that's really where it starts. And I urge you, if you're a single guy or if you're a married guy, really be receptive as well, because this is, you know, when I first got in the business, I heard a lot, oh, the PV is the wife's role, or the volume is the woman's role. And if that works for your home team, you know, husband and wife, hey, that's great. But you know what? You're probably going to sponsor a bunch of different types of people in your business, some single guys, some single girls. So you're going to need to know how to relate to everyone and help everyone grow a big business. But Wendy gave a little bit of my background. I was able to retire at the age of 26 through this awesome opportunity, and I haven't worked a job since then. Dirk was able to retire at 28, and our 5-month-old son Christian, and we have one baby on the way. And thanks. You know, we just do things in abundance in our household. But neither of them will ever know a parent to work, and a lot of it all stems back from these volume principles that we learned way back in our business. And just to give you a little background of how I entered the business, you know, it was my very last year at uni, and what I was looking for was a way to make some extra money. I came out to an open meeting, and basically there as Dirk's guest, and what I saw when I saw the business plan was, honestly, I saw a way to make a couple $100 a month. I didn't see diamond, I didn't see emerald, I didn't see a way to, you know, make this passive income that I could retire on one day. What I saw was about $400 a month. That was where my self-image was. I was like, $400 a month, that would be great. I don't have to get another job. This will just be a way that I can make some extra cash. And that was really my mindset when I got in. But here's one thing that Dirk provided as an upline. Is he provided attitude and a standard from the moment I got started in business. Because I had no business background, I had never owned a business, I had never been part of a business, my parents didn't own businesses, their parents didn't own businesses, so I came from a family of all employees. And that was my mindset. I had an employee mindset, not a business owner mindset. So one thing that he did when I first got started was he said, this is what we have as a team. We're a team and we have standards, just like any other team, like a sports team. We're a business team and we have standards. And one of the standards on our team is to do 100 PV every single month in personal consumption, or if you need to get some customers, get some customers. And that was his standard. And really, I'm pretty competitive by nature. It's funny because usually opposites attract, and Dirk and I do have a lot of opposite traits, but our primary personality traits are both choleric. And so, I understood that language. I understood being part of a team and wanting to play to win, and I did not want to be the weak link. So really, when I got started, I didn't do 100 PV every single month because it was a great business decision. I wish I could say that. I honestly did 100 PV every single month because I wanted to be part of the team and I didn't want to be the weak standard on Dirk's team. So I got started, he showed me how to, you know, switch over some of my buying habits. Hey, you're getting laundry detergent anyway. Hey, you know, you're getting energy drinks or vitamins, or, you know, you're eating anyway. So instead, just switch over your focus and now buy from your own business. And I'm like, hey, I can do that, not a big deal. So that was my mindset coming into the business. I read this quote and I thought it was pretty good. It says that most rich people become wealthy and stay that way because their investment oriented rather than consumption oriented. Well, the cool thing about this business is, we live life. We have to consume things. It's a necessity. We're going to eat every day, we're going to drink every day, but by being in this business, you can turn what is just a consumption and a non-investment into an investment by purchasing through your own business. And we can all become wealthy by eating and drinking, which is pretty cool. So here's some things that Dirk taught me when I first got started on how to create volume, and the same things that we teach our brand new people. Because when I got in, like I said, it was my last year at uni, I was on a tight budget. I graduated a couple months later, and I did get a job, but I wasn't making a ton of money. And I had a lot of bills. I was, paying my own car payment, my own insurance, my own rent, my own cell phone bill, or mobile bill. I had all these bills, and I had X number of dollars that was coming in every month. One thing that I had to decide was I can't afford to do 100 points and maybe just artistry and just jewelry and things like that. I needed to do 100 points and things that it took to survive on a daily basis. So what I would do is I would eat and drink out of my own business for breakfast and lunch. And then dinner on, I would eat and drink just regular food. But it was meal bars, and it was protein shakes, and it was excess, and it was vitamins, and it was things that I needed to live on a daily basis, and they would come out of my paycheck, but I would invest that money back into my business. And you know what? Even after Dirk and I got married, and we were Ruby on our way to Emerald, and we were both working at the time, so we had a lot of extra income, and we didn't necessarily, we did easily 300 plus points every single month. But just to be an example for our team, we would go months at a time where we would just eat and drink. If it didn't come out of our business, we would not eat and drink it before 5 o'clock at night. So everything before 5 o'clock, we would eat and drink out of our business, and our personal circle was enormous because he's a pretty big guy, and and you get hungry throughout the day, and it wasn't because we had to do it. We did it as a choice to be an example for our team. And so that's just one thing that we did. I'm not saying you have to do it, but really, you can eat and drink your way to 100 points. It's so simple. It's just a daily decision. And this is another reason. One reason that I always wanted to do 100 points, if you look back at my business over the past 7 years, not a month went by that I didn't do at least, at the bare minimum, 100 points every single month. And honestly, on our team, we try to do it at the very front end of the month. And like clockwork, there's not a month that went by that I didn't do that 100 points. And it wasn't always easy, and sometimes it was a stretch. But you know what he said? Dirk always taught me, you can make excuses or you can make money, but you can't make both. And I'm like, okay, I'm not going to make excuses for why I can't do volume. I'm just going to find reasons why I can, and I'm just going to figure it out, and I'm going to make it work. And so that's what we did. And also, the decisions that you make now at 100 PV, at 300 PV, 600 PV, when you're really just starting to build your business, they can be teaching tools for when you have 100, 1,000 people in your business. I remember, I don't know if anyone can relate to this, but what I used to do is I would go for a run. I love to run and love to jog, and sometimes, I'd listen to CDs or listen to my MP3 player, but sometimes I just like to think. It's just like my time to focus, and I would be running, and a lot of times when I was running, what I would do is I would go over my Emerald talk, I would go over my rally story in my head as I was running. I was like 100 PV, maybe 300 PV, but I'd be running and I'm like, when I'm an Emerald, this is what I'm going to talk about. This is going to be my story, and I'm going to be able to say from stage that, when I had one person in my group, I never missed a month of doing 100 points. I never missed being on the weekly CD. I never missed reading every day. That I made these decisions now, so when I have a team of 100 and 1,000, because that's what I expected to have, that I can use these teaching examples and I can say, I was a great example from day one, not just now when I have a ton of people in my group. So just something else to think about. But one of the things that I really had to overcome when I was building my business was getting customers, because I do not have a sales background. That is not something that's comfortable for me. I don't like it. And, since I didn't have a lot of money, I needed to develop a small customer base. Because honestly, let's face it, more PV is better than less PV. And no, it's not like, we do parties every weekend. If you choose to, you have that option in this business, but that just wasn't my focus. I wanted to build a great big network. But I understood that if I did have some customers, and I did have more PV, and I did maybe have some retail profit, that was better. More money is better than less money. More PV is better than less PV. I understood those concepts. But that was a really big fear of mine. And what I started started realizing was, if I show someone the opportunity and they're not interested, we have the best products on the face of the planet, so why not offer them some products that they might be interested? Why not offer them the opportunity to be a customer free of charge, and they can get access to these awesome products? So that's what we started to do, is if someone wasn't interested in the business, you know what? Hey, why don't you be a customer? Would you be interested in getting access to some of these awesome products? I'll give you a couple samples and tell me what you like, and I can hook you up, because these are exclusive products. You can't get them anywhere else. And that's a way that we really started to develop we don't have a ton of customers, but we have a really good, solid group of loyal customers. And if you're young in here, that might be your parents. Like, my mom was not interested in being an IBO. You're my daughter, I'm supportive of you, how can I support you? Well, you know what? You can be a customer. And it's cool because she had joint pain and she had a couple other issues. And since we have the best health and wellness products, bar none, I could say, hey mom, here's some glucosamine. Hey mom, here's another product that could help fill that need and help you feel better on a daily basis. Also, for women in there who have kids, because this is new for Dirk and I, we never wanted it to be an excuse for women not to come to the weekly open meetings, women not to come to these conferences because they said, you know what, we really don't have a lot of money, and if we do come to the conference, that's an investment, and then I'm gonna have to get a babysitter, and that's another investment. So you know what I did? I interviewed a ton of babysitters while I was pregnant. And I sat down with them and asked them a bunch of questions. And one of my questions was, how much do you expect to get paid? And they would say, a lot of them, oh, whatever you want to pay me. Okay, well, here's the deal. My husband and I, we own our own business, and we have the top of the line products. How would you be willing to have this payment plan? We will pay you half in cash, half in products. And so what we do every single month is I tally up all of our babysitter's hours, and when the end of the month comes, she makes X number of dollars in cash, and the other part of that payment, I give her some catalogs, and she goes through and she circles maybe a couple $100s worth of products. I put them through on her customer account, and they get sent right to her doorstep. More PV for us, more customer volume, and that's the way we pay her. And she loves it. I mean, she loves the products. Thanks. I can't take credit for that idea. I got that idea from my mother-in-law, because she's hardcore, if you've ever met her. And she's like, there's no excuses. I had 4 kids. My oldest son, was handicapped in a wheelchair, couldn't walk or talk, and I made it to everything. And I'm like, yeah, I have no excuses, or, I have no excuses after that. But my mother and father-in-law, who are our upline diamonds in this business, they really had very little money while they were building their business, and that was something she did to pay her babysitters, and I thought that was a fantastic idea. So that's what we implement on our team, and our babysitter's cool with it, so if someone that gets in our group, they should be able to find a babysitter that's cool with that payment plan too. One other thing we do with customers is we really keep a tight relationship. We have a woman who was brought to us on a referral, and she's up there, she's like maybe 80 years old, and her name's Wilma, and she's the sweetest old lady, loves the cleaning products, loves LOC, loves SA8, and one thing I love to do is just call her on basically a monthly basis. Hey, Wilma, I know, a great big thing of SA8 will probably last you all year, but is there anything else that I can help you with? And we do this with all our customers. Is there anything you need? Oh, well, as a matter of fact, just because I call her, typically she'll place an order every time I call her, because I kind of trigger that thought in her memory. When she was first referred to us, because she knew that Dirk and I were in Amway, she had never met us, but she really wanted these cleaning supplies. Because we had never met, I sent her a handwritten thank you card after she placed her first order, and I included a picture of Dirk and I. Well, you would have thought that I sent this woman $1 million. She called me up, and oh, what a lovely couple. I'd love to just keep in contact with you and see how your life is going. When I got pregnant, told her, it's almost like she's another grandma that I've never met. And it's just that relationship that's so important, because if you have a tight relationship with a customer, they are so much more likely to buy from you than to go out to the store and buy somewhere else. It's really that relationship that will keep them coming back. And like I said, you don't need a ton of customers, just a few key customers, and you have that relationship with them, and it can be really, really profitable for your business. So that's what we do with customers. And then in terms of volume and implementing volume downline into our groups, we have fun with it. And Dirk started off his talk with that earlier today. Everything we do, we make it fun. And I'm just going to give you a couple examples. Like right before we came out to Australia, there's a new girl on our team, and she's down in depth through some single guys. And so she got started, and she said, my cousin is really interested in the artistry. She owns a spa, and she's really interested in just implementing some of these product lines into her spa. Do you mind coming and helping me just expose some of the artistry product lines to her? No problem. So we hop in the car, and together we build that relationship, and we're having fun, but it's always revolved around the business. Because one thing that early on in our business where we really struggled with is we wanted to have fun, but we wanted to build a business. And it was almost like our business was turning into a social club. It was like, hey, to have fun, we all have to go out to the movies together. To have fun, we all have to go out together and eat. Or to have fun, we have to do these different events that didn't revolve around the business. Well, you know what? Our business did not grow that way. That's how a social club grows. And we're not part of a social club. We're part of a business where we want to have fun, and we want everyone to make money because that's fun. When everyone's broke, that's not fun. So one thing that we've learned to do is just implement fun. Like, for instance, Dirk and I, we first get married, and I'm going up to New York. He's down in Virginia. New York is about 6 hours north. That's where a lot of my family is. And so I had to go do some business stuff up in New York. We didn't have kids at the time. And what I did is rather than go alone, we always try to make the most and get the most mileage out of any event that we do. So I threw two single girls in the car with me and two different legs. And they were pretty new to the business at the time. And they came up to New York with me, and we had that 6-hour trip to really just build a relationship and really to get to know each other. And they came, and I did some different volume things in New York, some different business stuff, and they were with me. They were shoulder to shoulder the entire time. So number one, we built relationships. Number two, they learned different aspects of the business, and it was almost like teaching them, but not teaching them, just because they were observing what I was doing. And then, on the ride home, like one of the fun things that we did is we were just like being silly. We were being girls, and we got this great big bag of marshmallows, and we're driving down the highway like very fast, and we play this game called Chubby Bunny, where you have to put a big marshmallow in your mouth and say the words Chubby Bunny. Well, by the time you have like 6 or 7 big marshmallows in your mouth, you're like drooling, marshmallows coming out of your mouth, and we're driving, which is really not safe. I'm not recommending this. I'm relaying a story. And so we're in there, we're like tears coming down our face, we're laughing so hard, Chubby Bunny, and like marshmallows coming out of our mouth, and just like the time of our life, just having so much fun. It doesn't have to be business 24/7. It was a business event, and they learned so much, and our business grew, and their business grew as a result of that weekend, but it was fun. It was making memories. When you're building this business, it is fun. And when you're growing, it's fun. And what happens is a year, 2, 3 years down the road, you look back and you're like, man, I have all these hysterical stories from building the business. Like, our third platinum leg, he's a single guy. He got in business when he was like 17, 18 years old, went platinum in 18 months, just like a superstar on our team. Well, he brought his parents to an open meeting, really planning on having them as customers, but his parents came out to an open meeting, loved the business so much they decided to get in. Well, they're 4,000s on his team, and they've just, they have like a great business, but they're really awesome at retailing products. That's one of their big strengths. And so Ray, which is our platinum leg, his dad, he was doing this event where he was showing how awesome LOC is. He's like, you can drink it, you can bathe in it, you can put it on your plants, and your plants grow. It's like, the wonder product. And so he's talking about LOC, and one of the demonstrations he was going to give is that you could put a permanent marker on your hand or on your skin and then put LOC on it, and LOC takes this permanent marker away. Well, little did he know that there was a 4-year-old girl sitting not too far from him, so he has this pack of permanent markers. Well, he leaves the pack of permanent markers down, and he's just really getting into LOC. He's just fired up about LOC, and he's talking to these prospective customers about LOC. Well, this little 4-year-old girl gets in the pack of permanent markers and starts drawing all over her body. And all of a sudden, they look over, and this little 4-year-old is covered in permanent marker from like head to toe, on her face, on her hands, on her legs, and she was just so proud of herself, because she was like a piece of artwork. And Ray's like, no worries, LOC can do everything. And so then he starts like scrubbing this little girl with LOC. But we hear that when he comes back, and we're like, oh, Ray. But it's just stories like that will accumulate over the years, and it's so fun to look back and just how much fun you can have while you're actually building this business. And then one thing that I'll wrap up with is this is what volume does, is when someone creates volume and someone gets product shipped back to their house, or someone creates volume and they make a retail sale and, I don't know, maybe they make 20 bucks, maybe they make 100 bucks, whatever they make, what that volume does is that increases their belief. Just like coming out this weekend, after this weekend is over, everyone's belief is going to be at an all-time high. It increases your belief. Well, but see, the thing is, this weekend only happens probably 4 times a year. And I know you have other events that increase belief, but volume is something that you can do every single day to increase belief on your team. This weekend can't happen every single day, if that makes sense. So volume, one thing it does is it increases belief. And when belief is raised, people tend to take action. They tend to, they believe what they're a part of, so they're okay with making a call off their list. They're okay with sharing the opportunity because they believe in it. And so their belief is raised, so they take action. And, they're okay with creating more volume because they believe what they're a part of. They're okay with showing the plan. They're okay with all the activity pieces of building the business because they have a higher belief. And when the belief is raised and when there's more action, that means more people are getting in your business. Because more people are being called, more people are being shown the plan, more people are coming out to open meetings, more people are being followed up with, and because of all those things, more people are getting in your business, and you're getting more people to weekends like this, and by default, your business is growing. So volume increases belief, belief increases activity, activity increases people getting in your business. It all starts with volume. Now, to give you an example, we have a young guy on our team, single guy, his name is Mike. Mike has always been an awesome example at doing volume. 300 plus points every single month. Even when he was at uni and had like a $6 or $7 an hour job, he always did a tremendous amount of volume every single month, no excuses, great example. So he's always had that. Well, he's graduated now, he has a little bit more spendable income, he has a great customer circle as well as what he consumes personally, 300 plus points every single month. Because Mike is that example, because he has volume going through his business, he can therefore teach it. There's another teaching tip. If you don't have volume in your business and you all of a sudden sponsor a new person, how are you supposed to teach them how to do volume if you don't have volume in your own circle? So he's awesome at that. So as soon as he sponsors someone, he can teach that person how to do easily 100 points, easily 150, 300, no sweat. What happens is these people get in the business, they create volume, they get a check, they get products sent to their door, and their belief is raised. Because he's raised their belief through volume, he can then go in and help them create some activity. You know what? They're okay with making a list because if their friend calls them back and says, "Are you making any money in this thing?" "Yeah, actually I am. Actually I am. Actually I got my first check and it was 120 bucks. Actually, I got these products shipped to my door and they're awesome." And it all starts with volume. So these new people on this team are making money. They have volume going through their personal circles. They have that activity going. They're making calls. They're showing the plan. They're getting people to open meetings. They're getting people registered. And it started with him and one person. And then that one person and another person. And it's been like this snowball effect. And Mike, who at the last conference I think had like 3 legs and 8 people, at our next major conference, he already has over 20 people booked into the next conference, and at our next conference we'll have 9 legs, 50 plus people. All because he starts out with helping people create a proper circle of volume. And I just think he's just an awesome example of that, of how volume can basically propel your business to absolutely grow. And if you think about it this way, if right now you have 100 points, that means you need 75 other people to go silver and eventually platinum. But if you can create 300 points, you can teach other people how to create 300-point circles, and all you need is 25 people to go silver than platinum. And Dirk said this last night, and it's so true. And really, if you're 1,000 points, and you've learned how to create 1,000 points in your business, maybe personally and maybe through registering a couple other legs, all you need is 7 or 8 other people in your business to teach them to do exactly what you've done at 1,000 points. 7 or 8 people, that's it, and you're a silver and you're a platinum. So guys, if you can grab hold of volume, I guarantee you your business will absolutely take off. Have it be a standard. Thanks so much. Love you. God bless. See you later tonight.